Yesterday, you guys were talking about that damn Twitter getting you into trouble.
Don't talk about my Twitter like that.
And did you see the AP article that said people tweeting they're on vacation or out of town has led to their homes? I don't mean to laugh. I saw stop. Being burglarized.
Yeah.
Can't be surprised.
But what the guy said, he wasn't sure if it was Twitter. He thinks it was because he said they went on vacation for 10 days. So when they were on the road, they were like, you know, we're on the road here, and now we're at the beach.
Yeah, but we're not home.
But we're not home. So like his 2,000 plus followers, he thinks somebody on Twitter, you know, kind of figured it out.
I feel that.
But
I sort of stopped tweeting because I don't want to say I'm going here and going there and I'm traveling and I'm away. Just for that. I think
your doorman won't let anybody up.
And Cha-Cha will kill somebody.
Cha-Cha dog, yes.
Right, but if you have a house.
Still.
Yeah, I don't get, you know, detailed like that. I might say I'm in the heart of, you know.
Tweet when you come back from something.
Yeah.
You know, you can look up people, you know, funerals and weddings, and you know people are not home. There are ways to do it. It's a terrible. Yeah, you have to watch that stuff.
This has been a long-term conversation going on with Facebook and MySpace when people post, especially teens, where they're going, teenagers alone, I'm just with my friends, or someone will say, oh, I'm home alone tonight, just watching movies by myself.
Come on over.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Jason's coming.
He's home. And they have all these sites where you can find out where people live, you know.
That's what I think is terrible. Where they live, what their address is.
But, you know, this is the age of technology, and that's what it's doing. You know, this has been, now, as I said when we were working together, or said to the audience, you know, you all have become celebrities now. Because as soon as you put yourself on Facebook, you have an audience. Okay. And as soon as you have an audience, they might be interested in what you're doing. They want to know more about you, so they start looking for you. Then you get on Twitter, and then you start tweeting people.
You have so much fun on Twitter.
And suddenly, all of your stuff is right out there. You're just one of us. You're not going to like it much. Now, Candy Spelling and her daughter, this is interesting. Tori have been at odds, as we know, for a while now. And most recently, Candy was a no-show at her granddaughter's first birthday party, saying she didn't want an on-air reunion in front of the cameras of Tori's reality show.
Well, I think she should have gone.
Oh, wow.
Because the greatest gift is a Nielsen rating, okay? I mean, think about it. The two of them are fighting, okay? Somebody's got to break the ice. Why not? The girl invites you on a TV show.
No, Joy. That's such an intensely personal and private thing. And you know these reality shows, they edit stuff and they make it look crazy. And if they're going to make up, they need to do it without cameras around.
Suddenly Candy Spelling is not interested in the media? Come on.
No, you never saw Candy Spelling.
It's not her reality.
Candy Spelling.
Oh, it's not her show. When it's her show, then she'll show up, please.
The point is, if they haven't, what the Tories said was, Tories people said, well, we won't have cameras. She can do it privately. But still, there are cameras, and there are people, and there's stuff, and this is when you're going to have the reunion.
But even when she came on our show, do you remember?
I thought do it privately.
Sure.
Then go to the birthday party.
I remember when she sat on the couch at our show, I don't know if it was you, Barbara, or Joy, and you said, is there something you want to say to your mother? And Tori said, I'm not going to do that on air. I'm not going to have that on air.
I'm going to do it on my reality show.
My own air, she's thinking. My problem is, too, is that this is all revolving around her child's birthday party. So then, in a sense, and you see this, and where the child's then used as a pawn. It's like, deal with it without having to involve the birthday and celebration of the grandchild, in my opinion.
So
I think that's
it as an opportunity to have a rapprochement with your daughter.
What is rapprochement?
Like, you know, you're getting back together.
Rapprochement is a lot like autoerotic asphyxiation. It's another form.
Except it's a little more ticklish.
You do that or you do rapprochement. It's kind of a game, right? What do you know? You and I have done it many times.
What, the autoerotic or the rapprochement? Let's be clear, you know, I'm sure she would not have gone. I believe Candy probably would not have gone, except because think of all the ways now people get your information, you know. So suddenly if she had gone, even if she had gone and had a good time, someone might have called the papers and said, oh, you know what happened? You know, I'm sure she just said it's not worth it.
When Tori was here, she said to us, right, she said to us here, you know, be nice to my mom. You know, when she comes, like, she's not used to this kind of TV thing. So I think if she knows that about her, why ask her to be on the TV show? I just think they need to just work it out, and I don't know. I've wasted some
you'll have that John
See,
and
I
Kate
always feel like these mother and daughter, or mother and son, whatever, father and son, the parent is the one who has to make the entree, who has to go and make the thing right. I believe that. I think that it's in Candy's court to make it right, not Tori.
And Candy did say she'd like to do something privately with Tori and the grandkids.
Well, let me
I hope they work it out.
Because TV, you know, has a lot of attention on it right now because of one of the reasons Edie Falco's new Showtime series, Nurse Jackie, just started. And it's got a lot of the state of New York Nurses Association quite upset because they think her pill-popping character paints an untrue and unflattering picture of nurses.
But, you know, it's not just that. I mean, this show debuted... What's today?
Yesterday.
Last night. And it's a good show, and it got good reviews. But it's not just that she's popping OxyContin and screwing around with one of the pharmacists who gives her the OxyContin. But also in last night's first episode, she steals money, she forges a donor card, and she throws away an ear, one of the body parts.
Yeah.
And the nurses say, you know, it's the way you used to feel when The Sopranos were on and you thought it would not look good for the Italians. They're saying that this is, you know, such an unfair depiction of nurses.
Well, but she's a Robin Hood. She takes from the rich and gives to the poor. She's a varied character.
But I'm saying if you're a nurse, you don't want to have the personification.
But some people, you might sit there and go, do they do unorthodox things like that, nurses? Because I remember there was a series on ESPN.
In the audience?
Yeah, but you wonder. But you sit and wonder, is that something you do to save time?
Do you do drugs? Right?
No.
Is this something that would make you say, I'm not liking this show, or it's a bet?
Yeah. As a nurse, you have certain moral obligation.
Yes.
And you are to be a role model and love your patient, take care of your patient honestly. You're not
you
supposed
don't
to
like that depiction.
Yeah. This is one of the most giving professions out there. Your voices are being heard. I mean,
It's a very noble profession, but this is about drama. It's not dramatic to see nurses taking your blood and walking away and going home to see the view.
But a person could look at that and say, it could plant a seed in their mind and go, do nurses do things like that?
What about House, the doctor on House? He's a druggie, too. Did anybody get mad at him because he's a man?
No, because most of the stories that we hear, we don't really hear about nurses doing drugs. It's generally the doctors.
Well, what about Nurse Ratched? Remember Nurse Ratched? She was a great nurse character.
By the way, the one thing, this is Edie Falco, and what she has said was, this is not about nurses, this is about a nurse. This is about a character.
And also, it also goes to tell us and to remind us that people always forget and blend that these things are real. Television is entertainment. This isn't a show that is about entertainment. Just like, you know, The Sopranos were, just like all the shows that we kind of go, whoa.
Unless Candy Spelling shows up for Tori.
Well,
I think it would be more destructive if it was a reality show.
Might be. Yeah. But when we come back, we're going to come back with more hot topics. That's just the way it is. You know how she gets. She likes a good time, and she was out last night at the world-famous Apollo Theater, helping them to celebrate their 75th. Is the 75th anniversary?
75th anniversary. You know, you remember the Apollo is a theater in Harlem that launched all of the greats: Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, James Brown, everybody you've seen, Gladys Knight, they have all been there. And I went, first of all, I dressed really sexy. I took my trainer as my date. Was so sexy. You know the first thing he said to me? He did not say, hey, sexy. He went, what'd you eat? It's it the whole time. But I got to hang out with Jamie Foxx at the gala, and it was so great because you got to see all of these wonderful entertainers. Steve Harvey hosted. They honored Bill and Camille Cosby and Quincy Jones and Patti LaBelle. Mariah Carey was there. And just to see these entertainers that you see every day. But I got to tell you, the best thing about it, I was sitting there, this little 5'3" man with beautiful hair and 5 or 6 inch heels walked by me, and I went, oh, Prince! He walked by me 3 times. Prince.
The artist formerly known as.
Formerly known. I mean, and he was so sexy. That is the only man with heels higher than mine that turns me on. No. He didn't say hello.
Did you say hi?
He's like 5'3", and he wears heels that are higher than mine. And he turns everybody on.
Did you say hi? Did you give him a little?
I just went, like, you know, Prince is just
sound that he makes on several songs. Yes.
Prince just kind of floats through. You can't say anything to Prince. Steve Harvey even said he was, you know, for Clint.
What does Steve Harvey say to everybody else?
Steve Harvey was so funny. He hosted the event and he told everybody, because they had these long speeches, he said, if you don't make a joke within 90 seconds of a 4-minute speech, get off the stage. And I loved it because I think
at the Tony Awards and at these other awards, you know, the music now really cuts them off. But it amazes me sometimes how very gifted people and actors and so forth get up and talk and talk and talk.
People like to, they like to expound and so.
Everybody needs an editor.
So, very quickly.
Oh, my gig?
Yes.
I got to plug this. They've been hawking me. July 24th and 25th, Boston at the Wilbur Theater, and then the Melody Tent in Hyannis. It's a tent. My hair is going to frizz. I'm dreading it.
And for that reason, I'm going to see this because I want to see Joy with her afro. We will be right back with Mandy Moore.
Yeah.